Hello, this is Ricky, China Racing. Massive shout out going to BoomRacing, the velineon brushless power system for the Rustler VXL. Of course, this is not Rustler, this is a 1.5 scale Buggy 39cc. As you can see, the upgrades, shock absorbers, piggybacks in the front, piggybacks in the rear. All the aluminium parts over there, you can see the arms, upper and lower, have all been upgraded. What we'll be doing today is some further upgrades on this specific buggy. Let me cart them around. I am indoors today because we have a lousy weather outside. It's kind of raining here in London. So that's my buggy there. If I can get it. Alright, yeah, there we go. That's the buggy there. Like I said, a couple of upgrades going up today. We're going through that with you step by step. What I will be doing is showing you the parts I'm installing, and I will pause the video because I will be getting on to replacing the parts. So first things first, what we have here is a CNC cut rear shock tower. Alright, that's going to go on the rear. Just giving you an example, that's a pretty nasty thick shock tower. It's been designed and engineered by a man called Steve. So yeah, that specific part is going to go right over there. That is plastic, as you can see. Alright, so that's going to come out eventually, hopefully within the day, and get replaced. This particular part I'm going to be engineering myself later on within the month, and possibly do a video on a later date. Right, so getting back to the shock tower, what we have next to that is CNC cut stubs. These are axle stubs for the front. Generally, if I pull the tire right across there, hoping that I can actually this. Okay, alright, there we go. Okay, I'll probably peek the camera right through so that you can see. Now, that's the part I will be replacing. Get something to zoom in. Not really got some good lighting here. Alright, so there we go. That's the part. The whole front stub axle is going to be replaced. This is plastic with CNC aluminium. This again has been CNC engineered. Had to wait a pretty nasty long time for this. Actually, this is custom built, not really available to the open market unless you do engineering, etc. So yeah, those are two parts going on in the video here. Next is gold iodized roll cage blockers or connectors, so as you put it. One goes in the front under the body shell. We'll be removing that shortly to show you where it is, and one falls at the rear right about right there. So that's going to be replaced as well today. So we're going to remove this plastic part and replace it with iodized gold iodized CNC engineered brackets. Alright, so we have that, two pieces of those, and finally something that not very many people outside there have, and I've always wondered how to get hold of this stuff. The rear shock tower and the front shock tower, which is in my hand, as you can see. It's pretty simple. It's just a flat aluminium bar no grooves. Yeah, so these are the parts we're going to be replacing today. Pretty difficult getting hold of all this stuff. This is an Aowei Buggy, 1/5 scale, as I said before. Why we have the traxxas things going on over there, you might be asking, is because of course have a VXL with myself over here as well, that I have managed to do some engineering and upgrades myself. As you can see, there's no more plastic wheels over here. I removed this, bolted on that I made by myself with aluminium. This is iodized iron with threads at both ends. What I did then is improvise. These are roller bearings with plastic layer on top of the bearing. But then again, I'm happy but not very happy, so we will be upgrading these wheels with those wheels. These are aeronautic wheels, airplane wheels, so we will be drilling this further within the video, or I may not be showing you how to drill this because it's pretty simple. It's aluminium, in order to have it fit into that point over there. Get away with that, keep that as in store as stock. Coming back to the Rustler VXL, we have the velineon motor heatsink as well, that will need some trimming and engineering too, because this is not going to fit around the motor. So yeah, we'll be doing that later on. This is another day's upgrade. I want to be replacing that as well with 86 teeth, as you can see. This is pretty new. Got it from where did I get it from? Wherever it is, I've forgotten the name, the place's name. Just to give you an example of what stub axle carriers are, I'll hold this in my hand. This is a stub axle carrier. This is actually for the rear of the VXL. Alright, so pretty much sure you all know this car, or RC, sorry, pretty fast. It's really been upgraded and it's working on 11.1 volts. I will be opening that later on, and clocking up to about 70 miles an hour, I think. But hence, coming back to the stub axle carrier, I just want to show you an example of what I'm going to be replacing with what. Generally, this specific part broke on the Rustler, but I modified the whole part that's inside there. So this will be another day's job. Just want to give you an example of what this stub axle carrier in comparison to the 1/5 Buggy actually is. So get ready for this, and you'll be pretty shocked and amazed. Put this away. Right, that is the difference. So that's the plastic stub axle carrier for the VXL. It's no longer than 2 inches, and this is the stub axle carrier. Not the rear one, the front one, for 1/5. So you can imagine the impact this piece actually undertakes while aggressive driving or bashing. So yeah, I'll be back shortly. I will walk you through what I have upgraded on this buggy. Possibly may not be talking that much. I'll just video and show you what's been upgraded. The engine on this specific buggy is 39cc. It was a 30.5cc upgraded to 31, and now it's running on 39cc. Big shout out again to Savox. We have a Savox part in my buggy here, hence all the stickers going all around. A big shout out to BoomRacing. BoomRacing jumps away up to the Rustler. What I upgraded is, just pull up that's my shock absorbers there. That's from BoomRacing upgrades. Alright, BoomRacing, there you go. And I further upgraded the shock absorber on the rear from BoomRacing. This is my own engineering. Just want to show you quickly. That's the BoomRacing shock absorber. Alright, back again. So we have a shock absorber by BoomRacing over here. That's the rear shock. I engineered this shock's lower spring structure, including the one inside. It is oiled with 50 weight silicone oil mixed with 50 weight. There's a certain reason to why I did that, and actually it worked quite well. That is a spring that I got off a old machine and cut in two. Alright, so you can see down here, down there, where the spring connects onto the aluminium arm, there's a washer. Alright, so all this is done by me. Actually made the shock really rigid and hard. Can withstand a lot of impact. Really, I must say, really tough. As you can see how much force I'm using to actually press this thing down, and actually not touching. It's not touching no matter how much I lift it and drop it. Alright, that's just the connectors knocking on the chassis. Yeah, so yeah, there we have the VXL 3S velineon. Of course, the velineon motor. Alright, okay, so yeah, that's about it. There will be some upgrades going on this VXL, but on a later date, as they are pretty expensive. I will be doing hop-ups. All the plastic parts will be gone in my next video, hopefully in the next 4 or 5 months. Yeah, so that's about it. And you have Zippy, a massive shout out going out to Zippy Compact LiPo batteries. It's a 25C series 3 cell, 5,000 milliamps, top of the range. And of course I even have a 25C LiPo battery over here, 5,000 mAh. Yeah, so what I did is basically upgraded the shocks, kept the old ones, fed in some new springs in the old shock absorbers, just kept them just in case one day I may need them, or a mate of mine may want to replace his broken parts. So yeah, they're pretty upgraded as well inside there. That's why I haven't disposed of them. Changed the oils. It's really rigid and hard, but nowhere in comparison to what I've done over here. Really promising, yeah. So you not go wrong with this. It's a guarantee. Right, so that's my little toolkit. Like I said, I'll be working internally. I'll be back shortly. See you. Right, I'm back. So before we get the shell casing out once more, a big shout out to HPI, big shout out to Overlander, a big shout out to Traxxas. Of course, we all know of Traxxas. Big shout out to BoomRacing, massive shout out to Metal Pro, Oh, sorry, MEDIAL Pro. Massive shout out going out to Savox. Massive shout outs going out to BoomRacing. If I just did not say so, I think I did. And of course, Flexit. So here we go. Basically, what I've done here, just disconnect that, get the shell casing out for you, so you can see what's under the hood. Alright, do it step by step. Step by step, nice and gentle. Alright, disconnect. What I did is, these lights basically are connected to a 9-volt battery that I've kept internally under the hood. I didn't want to connect it to the main battery system of the vehicle, or well, buggy in that case. Sorry about all the movements. Yeah, so that's the connection there inside. Just get that off and show you what's going on under this stuff. Alright, so the pin connector's out. There we are, pin connector out. Alright, so that's the shell. Most important part of everything is here. Let's get these off. Alright. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can see the upgrades I've done over here. Currently everything's upgraded in the front. Only thing pending upgrade, really technically speaking, was the front tower shock, which is going to be replaced with this in a little moment. Alright, so there we have it. The Savox servo. That's just the battery that supplies the spotlights. Some extra power. Alright, that's my engine. Volvo carburetor, free airflow filter, all CNC. That's all CNC. CNC aluminium. The lower brace is all aluminium CNC. The upper brace that connects the arms together, CNC aluminium as well. Alright, so coming to the rear, we have a piggyback CNC as well. This I engineered by myself, possibly just at home. Use a 3mm aluminium plate, designed the spoiler, gave it a more mean look. As you can see, sorry, some scratches over there, old sticker removed. I'll possibly give that a clean out later on. And of course in the rear you can see upper arms, lower arms, everything is CNC aluminium. The crossbar connecting the rear upper arms is as well similar material to what this is, gold iodized aluminium CNC cut. That's gonna go. I mean, that's gonna be that went some time ago. That's not gonna go, that's gonna remain there. And of course we have an exhaust system that of course reduces quite a substantial amount of noise, but hence gives a good back pressure. So yeah, that's it. With what's happening over here, we have upgraded brake caliper system, gearing system underneath this cap as well, and of course a new diff. We have titanium drive shafts. Technically the car would break, but the drive shafts will never break again. I had a problem, I had to replace these drive shafts, the ones with the boots, 3 times already, but happened to engineer titanium drive shafts and never have had a problem as such. I want you to have a look at the thickness of this shaft over here compared to what we get in the market, after sale market. Big comparison. The shaft on the shock absorbers, technically speaking, is actually twice the size. So yeah, I just wanted you to know this is the best way forward for the 1/5 scale racers out there, is to always go for the CNC cut piggyback shocks, competition and high performance part. You never go wrong with these. Yeah, so I'm gonna start by opening the front shocks and replacing the tower shock. So I'll see you shortly, and let me get that done, and I will continue from there. Alright, so see you in a minute. Bye bye. Alright, so I'm back. Got the front shock tower out. Just wanted to show you what it's all about. It has undertaken a little bit of substantial damage. It's pretty thin. You can see it's warped as well. That is because I had the tower points, the upper points where the shock connects over here, bent forward literally to 90 degrees, but then what I did is just get a grip pliers, straighten it forward, because I didn't want to go through the hassle of opening the whole system and start hitting this thing with a hammer, as it's quite light and feels like it did need an upgrade. So we're gonna be doing away with that. That's just basically, I consider this crap, so we're gonna put it in the crap box. Alright, so yeah, so this is what's going in, just to give you an idea of what a hop-up actually looks on a 1/5 scale. This is the aluminium front tower shock that we're going to be replacing. Now you can see the thickness difference there. It's pretty visible on how heavy duty part this is, and how reliable it's going to be for the years to come. It's gonna really provide necessary impact protection, as it's supposed to, or engineered to. Yeah, alright, so I'll be getting back to you once I've fully installed it. Always remember one thing, first things first, on your bolts, on your nuts, don't forget this boy, and that's thread locker. Alright, I prefer just going straight for industrial grade. Sometimes I do have to use a little bit of force if I'm trying to open the thread again, or the bolt or nut, but I prefer this anytime compared to the weaker ones. Yeah, so also always remember this, especially on scales as big as this one. You want to always use something that's strong and rigid. So yeah, that's about it. And yes, something that I've forgotten, we will be upgrading as well, the iodized, aluminium iodized roll cage cross members. That will be replaced. That will be replaced with this, and one is, where is the next one? Yeah, one's right behind here. If I can just get the video to come across, that one there, and the other one's just under the spoiler right there. Alright, so we'll be replacing that too as we go. Sorry about the movement once again. It's just that I'm indoors and we have a lousy weather outside. It's kind of raining hail. So yeah, I'll get back to you once the front shock tower is installed, and we'll carry on further. Alright, bye bye. Alright guys, I'm back. So we have the front shock tower installed now. Had a small difficulty, but not difficulty as such. I had to use a semi-round file on the lower part of the front shock support. If I zoom in there slightly for you to be able to see that I kind of filed the edge out about 3 mil in, about 4 mil in, because the suspension was touching onto the shock tower, so that had to be done. If I don't know, yeah, there we go. If you can see right through the shock right there, yeah, right there is where I did the filing, but either way there's nothing much of an effect. There's no damage, sorry, there's a big effect. Yeah, so that's that, and what I'll be installing now are the roll cage braces. So I'll get back to you once I've installed that one, and of course the one in the rear. That should be this one. Pretty much thinking before I do that, it's better I get rid of the shock tower, because it's going to get a bit difficult reaching that, because I have to get rid of the roll cage first in order to reach the shock tower. So yeah, I'll get back to you shortly once we have the roll cage out and the shock tower exposed. Another thing added to that, I will not need the aluminium part, the shock tower support, anymore, so we'll be getting rid of that. See, so there you have it. We have the roll cage out now. Looks a bit funny actually. A bit naked as well. Yeah, so we're attempting to jump into the rear tower shock. We're going to be getting this out. We've got bolt and nuts there, and of course one there and one below, and similar on the other side, and that's out, and we'll be replacing the shock tower. Something else has came to understand when I was removing the roll cage is once I had it exposed, these parts became pretty exposed too. So as well as the shock tower, we will be replacing these braces with the plastic ones, one there and one right in the front here. Alright, so that's where the front of the front of the roll cage will be going through, but we'll be doing away with that. Alright, so I'll be back shortly. So I'm back, and I have the rear shock tower in my hand. Now that it is in my hand, I've never really opened it before. It is quite a light and flexible material. I would say it's nowhere compared to the upgrade that's going to replace it, but I would recommend not throwing this part, because you never know, it can come in handy one day or the other. So yeah, so we're going to be installing the rear shock tower as I showed you earlier on. That's what's going in. So that comparison, in comparison to this, so two different parts. This is fully CNC cut aluminium, but not iodized. Thicknesses, well, as you can see, it's way thicker than what this part is, the plastic part. So yeah, I'll be back shortly after I set this in there. That's supposed to be, yeah, alright, that's going nice and easy. Alright, that's dog wishbone to dog wishbone, end to end. It's been beautifully engineered. That was a bit difficult to remove out, but eventually got it out by levering it. So yeah, I'll get back shortly once the rear shock tower is installed, hoping everything goes the way it should. Alright, I'm back, and let me walk you through what's happening here. Managed to install the rear shock tower. It went in excellent, no problems. I'm really happy with it. Beautiful. Actually gives you a good surface over there for some decals. Some at the rear, if you please. Looks pretty good. Sturdy, firm, strong. Ready for some good impact. It's a beautiful job with the engineering and the machine cut, I must say. Really looks well. Good combination. I never quite knew that I would be getting this piece as silver. Actually goes really well with the shock absorbers on the rear, as they seem to be color coded with each other. Yeah, so what I've further done is I've got the plastic bracket supports off on the rear and in the front there, so I will be replacing them shortly, and we'll get back to you once that is complete. That's going to go there, and this piece is going to go there. Once that happens, we're going to replace the aluminium support bracket brace for the rear impact bumper with this. So let me just zoom in so that you can see it is threaded. Alright, so it is being replaced by this, which is something similar. Just thought, let me do away with it, but we'll keep them as parts for the future. As you can see, the rear shock tower is there still. So yeah, I'll get back to you once all that is done. Ta-da! So there you have it. It's all fully assembled now. The rear shock tower, the cross braces, all there in place. That's the rear one, and that's the front one. So technically everything in the front is now metal. There's nothing plastic here. As for the bumper, I should have mentioned this earlier on. I engineered this myself. This is a 6mm aluminium plate, come out from an old machine, so just cut it off that way. Give it a round edge finish, pretty rigid and strong. Don't need to really worry about the cross member that leaves the bumper from about there and connects to the dog bones there and there. It is really sturdy and strong, as that is a sump I engineered as well from a 4mm MS plate. Pretty rigid and strong. Looks good. Getting there slowly. Last installation will be the front stub axles. I'm really looking forward to do this, but I know the job is a bit nasty. Yeah, so we'll get back to you once the roll cage is on and everything is fully complete. Cheers. Right, so there you have it, fully assembled. Got the roll cage on, connected to the front. All our new parts are on. Right up to the cross member for the roll cage on the front, on the rear. Up there, I decided not to remove that for now, just leave it. Because it is coming slightly in contact with the hollow section I improvised for this self-engineered spoiler. And so there you have it, that's what it looks like. Alright guys, smart and sturdy. These will go soon, including those. There will be a rear bumper sticking out from there up to about, say about this point, about 6 inches off the vehicle. So we'll get that done once I do the engineering and design. So there we have it. My phone's slightly dead, so I'm just charging it. What I'm going to be working on last now are the stub axles. So like I said early on, looking forward to do this. I'll walk you through slowly as we proceed. Need to get the wheels off and work forward from there. Alright. So there you have it, the wheels off. That's the wheel there. Alright. It's supposed to go in there. Put that there for a minute. Just want to give you a small idea what you want to do when you are the first time buyer of this vehicle, the Aowei Buggy. You must remember that grub screw and that grub screw. You must disassemble the wheel, remove these grub screws and Loctite them down in the front and a must in the rear. Otherwise what's going to happen, this hex nut is just going to spin on the rear drive. So you're going to get difficulties and you will wonder what the problem is. So that's a trick I somewhat thought of by myself. So yeah, that's something really important for you all to do. Yeah, so next up we'll be installing that like so. With this part, we'll be removing this out. This complete part is going to all come out. And we're going to replace this with that plastic part. And that concludes the final 100% stage setup for the front of this buggy. There will be no plastics at all, apart from the little guy here that holds the body. That's excused, that's alright, she'll live. So there you go guys, basically what I did is remove this, and the bearings and the drive shaft, everything was perfect. There was nothing defective with the bearings on both ends, so they're straight fit, no problems at all. Put this hex nut back on, made sure to use my Loctite on the grub screws, and do not forget, when you are assembling this unit, there is a special spacer that sits between that bearing and this internal bearing. That is mandatory. Without it, the drive shaft, the front drive shaft, would be not very stable and actually would play and wonk about. So always remember that. So yeah, that's going to be going on this part very soon. So it's a bit dirty from the previous drive-abouts and etc. Give it a clean over. So it's going to connect onto that arm, the front arm, lower arm there, and of course the rods. Alright, so see you shortly. And so there you have it. Aluminium stub installed for the front. All done and good. Replace it with this. Replace it with that plastic bit. That will remain as an emergency part just in case one day. In you go. So yeah, I'll be installing the next one. Had to do some little grinding right about there, as that flat part over there was actually touching on the lower part down there. So a little bit of grinding won't hurt anything like this. It's quite chunky. See you soon. Alright, so finally the stub axles are installed. I had to do some small filing and grinding on the lowest part there, right underneath that section, which should be there. Alright, so that's all done. I'm gonna give it a try. Yep. That's a 40 kg servo I've installed over there, by the way. It's right underneath there. Savox. Alright, so there we have it. Gonna put the tires on and the body there, and we are more or less done. See you in a bit. So anyway, just give you a walk around of what's happened here. I think that looks sick. So there you have it, guys. Fully loaded, upgraded. That's the front of the buggy. There you go. Beautiful little piece of equipment. Lovely upgrade. Rear shock tower, as shown earlier. Gold braces. And that is without the body kit, and shortly it will be with its body kit. And that is with the body kit. Front shock towers. Look at that beauty. front lighting for night driving. Yeah, you know how it goes. Big up to Nasty, Traxxas. Nasty's juice, vaping juice. BoomRacing.com. Savox. The Rustler VXL. Traxxas. No fear. China Racing. Hasta la vista, amigo. Till next time, when we'll be racing the beast.